Today is session 2, episode 2 of Yoga Vasishtha. In the last episode, we covered chapter 1, which is where Rama explains his dilemma. He says, this world does not make sense to me. I don't understand what the purpose is. When everything is going to perish, then what's the point? And he goes through different aspects of life which don't make sense. So after he puts his situation in detail, describes his situation in detail, Maharishi Vishwamitra says, everything that there is to know, you know. Everything that can be known about life, about this world, you know. So before he requests Maharishi Vasishtha to begin his discourse, Maharishi Vishwamitra tells a story. There's lots of stories in Yoga Vasishtha, and through these sessions we'll be picking up some ones. We can't pick up all the stories in 7 sessions, but few major ones we'll be picking up. So the first story comes from Maharishi Vishwamitra, and he says, the state that you are in, Ram, also happened to Shuka, who is Maharishi Vyasa's son. And he also went through the same dilemma, same question, and very brilliant, Shuka, very brilliant. And he thought about it. When he had this question, what is this world and why am I suddenly here? This is natural, you know. So he thought about it and he thought about it and he arrived at some conclusion, but he wasn't sure. He didn't know if this is right, if this is true. So he wasn't sure about it, but as a result of his inquiry, as a result of his investigation, his mind became quiet. All his restlessness vanished because of his investigation, because of his inquiry. But he wasn't sure. So one day at finding the right time, right opportunity, he asks his father, what is all this? What is all this world? Where did it come from? And how long will this last? And how am I here? What am I supposed to do? And when does it end? How do I get out of this? When does it end? So Maharishi Vyas tells him, he gives him the answer. So when he gives him the answer, Shuka is thinking in his mind, this I already knew. So Maharishi Vyas, while he's giving the answer, he, perhaps from Shuka's body language or his responses, he realizes Shuka, it's not, hitting the bullseye. Like when somebody has a question, they have this kind of a look. And when the answer hits the bull, yeah? So he doesn't see that happening to Shuka. So he says, oh, okay, all right. Anyway, it's not easy. Even no matter how good a teacher you are, it's always difficult to teach family. All the teachers here in Art of Living, they know very well. You may be a teacher to the whole world, but when you are back home, stick to what you were. Don't try to become a teacher there. Many times it happens that couples come to the course. And the teacher says things like, accept people as they are, don't see intention behind, and the husband is nudging the wife. This is what I keep telling you. You never listen. This is what I listen to. And the wife says, shh. Teacher's talking. So even though he says the same thing, but doesn't hit. But the teacher wearing white clothes, sitting with a photo and nice environment, in the right environment, it happens. So when Maharishi Vyasa tells Shuka this truth, Shuka says, this though I already knew, but there must be something else. There must be something. So Maharishi Vyas realizes that it's not quite working out. So he says, I'll tell you what, King Janak. Now we don't know if it's the same Janak as the one in Ashtavakra, but all the Janaks that are mentioned in various scriptures, somehow they happen to be very wise kings. All of them. So this is another King Janak. He says King Janak is very wise. He is known as an enlightened king, enlightened karma yogi. You go to him and you ask your question. Ask him. He will tell you. So Shuka says, okay. Because Shuka really wants to find out. He really wants to know. So Shuka says, okay. And so he travels all the way to the city, to the capital city. He reaches the palace gate, and like here we have, in the secretariat, we have that appointment request book. Yeah, I have to meet Guruji, name, for what purpose. So he writes, Shuka, Vyasa's son, purpose, personal question. All that he writes, and he gives the list goes in, the list reaches Janak, and Janak sees today's appointment list, Vyasa's son. He says, let him wait. If Shuka is there on the door, let him wait. What I like in this part is, there were no cell phones in those days. So, Maharishi Vyasa doesn't have this opportunity to, after Shuka leaves, doesn't call Janak and say, listen, I'm sending Junior. And you give him the treatment, okay? He doesn't say that, but Janak gets it. Shuka, let him wait. What would Vyasa's son would come to me for? Let him wait. Instantly. And he makes him wait for 7 days. 7 long days he waits on the palace gates. Nobody asks him anything. Maharishi Vyasa is well known. He's compiled all the Vedas, and Vyasa's son. Do you know who I am? Shuka could say that. How can anybody treat Vyasa's son, Vyasa's only son, like this? But he doesn't. All right, I am the one who wants, in this transaction, I am the one who wants something. I am the one who's come with a request. So, I'll go through it. He doesn't get upset. 7 days he's made to wait outside the palace gate, and he waits. After 7 days, they say, okay, let him in. Let him wait in the palace garden. So he comes in, not all the way in. He waits in the palace garden. Again 7 days. He waits. After waiting again 7 days, they say, okay, bring him into the palace now. Now he is welcomed into the palace like a royal guest. And he's got so many servants to take care of every wish and all the luxuries of the palace available to him, and all sorts of things to eat and drink and entertainment. There were no cable TV that time, only live performances. So there's live performances and maidens to serve him, and all sorts of massages, all sorts of luxuries available in a royal palace suddenly become available to him after 7 days of waiting outside, waiting outdoors, 14 days of waiting. suddenly. But his behavior does not change. Yeah, he is taken through, by Janak, what's the program? He is taken through complete indifference to complete lavish luxury. Very honored guest, VIP. From this end to this end. And he is observing. Yeah? If you have observed different situations, they change your behavior in life. Your body, when you want something from somebody, your body language is different. But when you are the giver, your attitude, your tone, everything is different. Yeah? So different situations, they somewhat modulate your personality a little bit. Are you the giver or are you the asker? So here, suddenly he's everything available to him in the palace, but he does not indulge in those luxuries. Still, when is the appointment? He keeps asking the secretary. It happens here also. And the stock response. I'll call you right back. So while 7 days of luxuries are going, he says, okay, fine, but when can I see Janak? When can I see the king? And after 7 days of luxury and Janak observing him, 7th day, the appointment comes. The appointment comes and Janak tells him, there is nothing left to tell you. You know everything. What does he mean by that? What is the sign of somebody who knows everything? Everything about this world. What is the sign? Yeah. He's not interested. It doesn't matter to me. If you're passionate about one thing, see, I want to find out at whatever cost. I want to know whatever it takes. If you're passionate about any one thing, you're automatically dispassionate about everything else. Doesn't matter. Yeah? If you see people who are training to be athletes or training for sports, nothing matters. No amount of discomfort, hard work, nothing. Yeah? So he says, I have checked you, I have tested you thoroughly, and you are genuinely not interested in anything. The extremes, the opposites of life don't cause a change in you. They don't affect you. You know everything there is to know. And then he proceeds to tell him the truth. Now, the interesting thing to note here is the state of Shuka. In what state would anybody not be interested at all when so many luxuries are available? When your ego is being trampled. When your ego is being... It's very hard to... Guruji said yesterday and few days ago also, your true personality comes out when you're disrespected or insulted. But Shuka, there is no change in his personality. So what state would anybody have to be in for that behavior? So then Janak gives him the knowledge and Shuka says, this I already knew and this is what my father told me and this is what you're telling me. And Janak says, yes, this is it. This is all there is to know. This is all there is to know. And then, so like Shuka, you have the same dispassion, Ram. And now, Maharshi Vasishtha, over to Maharshi Vasishtha. So then Maharshi Vasishtha starts, and what did he say? This world is not real. This world is not real. Why? How? Now, because the Guru has said it, because Maharshi Vasishtha has said it, it is true. Yeah? Does not make sense to me. Does not make sense to me. But now, so Rama has been told that everything there is to know, you know. Everything that can be understood, you know. You have understood. Now, if he knows everything there is to know, why does he need to be told anything then? Why should there be anything left to tell him? Everything that can be known through the intellect, you know. You know the essence of this world. There is nothing here. You know that. You know that in essence. Therefore, nothing here attracts you. So, dispassion, what does it do? Dispassion. What does desire do? Clouds your thinking, your way of seeing things, clouded by what I want, what your ambition. Now that you're in dispassion, nothing left to achieve, nothing to do. Dispassion, I don't care, I don't really want, not interested. Now the clouds have gone away, it's clear now. Now you have a chance to behold reality. You're not blinded by your desire. That's why dispassion. That's why dispassion. And Maharshi Vasishtha says, when I'm done talking, when I'm done with this discourse, you will be liberated. There is no doubt in this. Look at the confidence. The confidence of the Guru. When I'm done talking, you will be liberated. There is no doubt in this. I like the style. Really confident. Many years ago, when this building was just constructed, that same year, 2003, VM was the satsangs were not so big, some 50, 60, 70, 80 people in satsang. And that day, because there was not much security at that time also, so Guruji was sitting on stage and people were coming and meeting him. One person got up and he asked very sincerely, he asked, Guruji, will you show me the way? Very touching, very stone, everything was, will you show me the way? And he said, you think I am such a person? Meko aisa tumne samjha hai? You think I am such a person? I will just show you the way and let you go. I will take you all the way home. घर तक लेके जाऊंगा. Confidence. तुम जैसे, however you are, we'll make it through. We'll go all the way, whatever it takes. So why is Maharshi Vasishtha so confident? Because Rama's dispassion is real. He is ready to see beyond. Whatever he has seen does not pull him, has no pull on him. Therefore, the eyes, the vision can be raised to the unseen. The seen has no attraction, has no charm. So now we are ready for the unseen, which is not visible. Now when we enter this realm, we are stepping out of what I can understand. This much I could understand, this much I know. Now we are stepping out of this. Naturally, I will not understand. Yeah, things will not make sense. Right? How do you walk? How do you go ahead? What you know, you test and you go with your understanding, but now you're stepping out of your understanding. How will you proceed? What is the ground you walk on? Because your understanding is not there. Things don't make sense in this field, in this realm. How do you proceed? How do you walk ahead? How? Faith. Now I've lost my reason. I can't make sense of things here, but you're there. I follow you. So, the whole Yoga Vasishtha, there is no sign of devotion. All the stories are very strange, very confusing, they don't make sense. Those stories are not like there was a king and there was a villain and they fought and the good guy won. No. Very strange story, very confusing stories, but very logical. They are making a very logical point, very scientific point. No place for devotion in the entire text. But you can't miss it. Where is it indicated? Where is the relationship between Ram and Vasishtha? Very important part. How does the disciple see the Guru? What is that relation? Because when you're stepping out of your understanding, it is only faith that you're standing on. You cannot proceed otherwise. Yeah? So this relationship, where is it indicated? In the way they address each other. The way Maharishi Vasishtha addresses Ram. Oh, best of Raghunandan, Raghukul Tilak. The way he praises Ram and the regard that Ram has for Vasishtha. The best among the knowledgeable ones. The way he addresses him. So, this is the only hint you have to see what relationship Ram and Vasishtha have. Yeah? So we are leaving our sense of reason. It's not that we will not use our reason, but for a while things will not make sense. Beginning, what? This world is not real. Now, as it hits you, it doesn't make sense. This world is not real. There's a question from last week. A lady, she wrote in, my son liked the first session. He was fascinated by the first session and he's asking, this world is not real. Is it true? And what do I tell him now? How is this world not real? Now, Maharishi Vasishtha has said, so it's true, but how? Few years ago, we had a scientist from Germany, particle physicist from Germany. He came over to the ashram. I was lucky to be asked to receive him from the airport. So I went to receive him. And he came to the ashram, stayed a day or so. And so I spent some time chatting with him. And Guruji had sent him to give a presentation. Guruji liked his presentation in Germany. He said, you go to Bangalore and give this presentation in the ashram. So he came for that. So he came and he gave the presentation downstairs. So he says, I studied matter 50 years. 50 years I studied matter. And you know what I discovered? There is no matter. There is no matter. And you know, when I tell people that I studied matter 50 years and I discovered there is no matter, people say, oh, poor guy. wasted his whole life. There is no matter. He says, but it does not matter. So him and I, we were chatting in Kashyapa, and he told me, he said, you know, when you touch this chair, you feel something. You feel a sensation. Yeah? And you feel that this chair is there. You're touching this chair. He says, I know that what you're feeling is electricity. I know. Yeah? So now, because such a senior scientist, such an old scientist is saying, must be true. Not my experience, but it must be true. Yeah? Now, if I don't put effort to investigate, why would he say that? Why is he saying this is electricity? If I don't put in effort, it remains his answer. Until I investigate, why would he say that? And I find out the answer myself, only then does it become my answer. Huh? Only then will it be, only then this will come. Until then, okay, he said, I don't know, doesn't make sense to me, I don't know what he meant. So, when Maharishi Vasishtha says this world is not real, okay, does anybody telling you help? Does it make this world unreal for you? No. Just because it's written in a book, does it become unreal, the world? No. So investing. Maharishi Vasishtha, this world is not real. Why would he say that? Why would he say that? So he says, the person who's on his deathbed, just about to die, just leaving his body, he knows this truth. He knows this truth that this world is not. How does he know this truth? Because this world has begun to vanish now. For him, it's begun to vanish. In Kathopanishad, Guruji explains the sequence, what happens, what a person goes through as they are passing through death. One by one, the senses shut down. Yeah? And it's vanishing. You can't talk. Sense of touch goes. And this world has begun to vanish. He knows this world is not real. Yeah? So you will eventually know for sure. If it doesn't make sense now, it will. Someday it will. So he says, what does he mean when he says this world is not real? So he says, the way you know this world, how do you know this world? You know this world in terms of this is me, this is her, this is him, this is this person, that person, this is a tree, this is different objects. Yeah? So he says, the manyness of this world is not real. The manyness, that this is me, this is her, this is him, this is somebody else, this is not real. How? It's very clear, this is me. It's me sitting here and Harchal is sitting over there. But if you move beyond the body to the next level of existence, we've all done the basic course. Breath. After body comes breath. I cannot say this is my breath and that is Harshal's breath. The boundary vanishes. Yeah? In fact, all of us, we are breathing the same air. At the level of breath, we cannot distinguish. The boundary begins to blur. We are all plugged into the same life system, connected to the same life system. You are breathing the same air that the trees in the area are breathing. They are breathing out, they are giving out oxygen, you are breathing in oxygen. Yeah? And what you breathe out, they take in. Where do you end? Where does the tree begin? Yeah? So even right now, my life, in your life, and everybody's life is, if you look closely, so far it was clear that this is me, that's you. And this is everybody. But if you, on looking closely, this distinction begins to blur, vanish. Now, our lives are inextricably connected to the trees around, to the lives of the trees around. Yeah? Now the trees get their food, their life from the earth. They have roots in the earth. Where does the tree end? Where does the earth begin? What is that distinction? Yeah? You can no longer say that this is the tree, this is the... No, it's all merged, mixed up. Yeah? So here he says, this distinction that you know this world as, these different objects, differentiated perception, that this world is made up of different things, not true. So what is the world made up of? What is the world made of? One thing. Whatever, consciousness or whatever, but it is made up of, it is all one. It is all one. Have you seen pictures of Jesus? Pictures of Jesus where he's standing like this. Yeah? The picture of Guru Nanak Dev, like this. And many gods, what are they telling you? If they had to send a message centuries across, they didn't have videos like we do today. So how would they have conveyed for generations? What is the sign? This is all one. This is all one. Logically, we've gone logically, see? We haven't had to rely on faith yet. Huh? You've gone logically. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? The manyness of this world is not real. How does it start? What is the root? When you say duality means two. What are those two? What are those two? When you say duality, huh? Okay. What is the seed of this manyness? Seed of duality. Yeah. What is the duality? Me and everything else. Because I am, this is. And this is confused. This is what does not make sense. Yeah? This is what does not make sense. The seed is ego sense, I-ness. So Maharishi Vasishtha later, he says, there is only one, in this whole world, Ram, there is only one kind of ignorance. Only one ignorance. I am. Doesn't make sense again. Doesn't make sense again. Back to square one. Back to confusion. I am. Every experience in your life has reinforced, has only confirmed that I am. That I am this. And here is Maharishi Vasishtha saying, only ignorance, the only ignorance in this world, I am. There's three ways to know anything, three ways to know. One, you know something through the senses. You know something through the senses. You see, yes, everybody sitting here. I'm sitting on a chair. I can feel it. I can see it. You know something through the senses, but not everything. The senses tell you something, but not everything. The eyes tell you that the sun rises in the east and travels through the sky all day and sets in the west. This is what the eyes tell you. Is it true? What the senses tell you is something, but it's not the whole picture. Not all true. Next, you can know through the intellect. Maybe not through the senses, but you can deduce, you can conclude. When you see smoke, you haven't seen the fire yourself, but because there is smoke, there has to have been fire. Yeah? Yeah? Third way to know is to know something so deeply, that it becomes you. Not through a conclusion, not through an understanding, but know it so deeply that it becomes you. Like music. Somebody has to learn music. If I say, music, what is music? 7 notes. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. I got it. Do I know music now? Am I a musician now? No. I have to pour myself, years and years of practice. You don't just know music, you become music. You have to pour yourself completely into it. Similarly, dance. Years and years of practice. Yeah, and so deeply that you cannot separate the dance and the dancer, the musician and the music. You can't separate. Yeah? So to know something so deeply that it becomes you, that it has become you. So Yoga Vasishtha is not to be understood. Not to be understood. Did you do the homework? Yeah? Anybody wants to share? Yeah, what is your question? One was, for those of us who are joining, question one is, what is your prison? What is your prison? Yeah. What do you want to be free of? What is it that binds you? What's your prison?
It's like my only thought that I am
The thought that I am in bondage is my prison. The mind, desire, identification with the body, my concept about the world, my ignorance, yeah, senses, repetition, yeah, the patterns are repeated. That's my prison. I keep going through the same pattern, yeah. Wanting to be free. Very nice. Very nice. Happiness is your prison. You are imprisoned in happiness. Oh, such a tough life. So, few people, good, sincere seekers, see, yeah, sincere seekers in my class, they have actually put the answers online. We have a slide to show where you can also, today also there will be homework. So you can put your homework online so that everybody can see. So Tanya says, I'm imprisoned by my mind. It's not the circumstances, because if it were the circumstances, then when circumstances change, my sense of bondage should also change. But it doesn't. So whatever prison I'm in, it goes with me wherever I go. Good insight. See? It's not that I'm physically imprisoned anywhere. Wherever I go, it comes with me. Very nice. Then another answer, Bhagyesh, desires. It's my desires that bind me. Ruchira says duality, fear of pain is my prison. Shweta, my desire to be free. What binds me is my desire to be free. My prison is my desire to be free. Nice, very nice. Limitation of senses, levels of existence, my mind, concepts of freedom, bondage, in my idea about life itself. In other words, I am my own prison. Nanddeep says, I've heard, read, seen and believed that having certain things gives pleasure. So you do this and it will give you pleasure. And this is what I keep doing. My prison. Unregistered. A user, sincere seeker called unregistered has said, the moment I ask myself what binds me, I already feel free. Just reflecting on this question was liberating. So, he says, awareness, the moment you turn your awareness into, okay, so what is my prison? And suddenly, there is no prison. Yeah? What you're running away from, it keeps running after you until you keep avoiding it. But when you say stop and say, okay, bring it. Let's see what it is. You do the grape process with it. You see it from all possible angles and all possible orientations. You see it properly. Whatever it was that was binding me or bothering me. And what you find is, this is nothing. Stops bothering. Yeah? User called the matrix. I am imprisoned by my habits, my fears, laziness and boredom. Vandana Jha, my bondage is expecting perfection in every situation. So this is a personality. My personality is my prison. Simply not having enough time to do, Stars has written. Imprisoned by the body. Bhav says imprisoned by the body. Identification I have with this body. Yeah, very good answers. Yeah, so how I am, my personality, the way I think, what is the seed? I am. I am like this, like that, or this world is like this, like what is the seed? I am. If everything is one, if you and you and you and the trees and the earth and everything is one, that includes me too. That includes me too. Confusing? Yeah? What is the proof you have? What is your conviction? What is the conviction that you have that you exist, that you are? What is it based on? It is based on what you know through the senses and through your mind. That's it. That you are Harshal or that you are Karthik, somebody chose your name. Your identity as Harshal or Karthik or Divya, somebody, when you were born, somebody chose your name and random idea. Divya will be a nice name. Kritika will be a nice name. Some random thought came and now your whole personality is based on that. How to find out this world is not real? And how to know that I am not, it's so fascinating. It's so, what are you saying? What are you saying? I am not, I don't exist. That me and Harshal are one? Me and Harshal are one? But when I'm hungry, then I have to eat. Watching Harshal eat does not help me. Yeah? So he says, yeah, that is also true, this is also true. We are entering, remember, we are entering a zone that does not make sense. That will not make sense. How this reality cannot be captured in an understanding. Because you know this world through your understanding. You understand how this world is, how this world functions. If I take this box, and it's here, Guruji asked this question in the Upanishad last year. So he says, if I take this box from here and I move it here, the box has moved. Has the space moved? The space in the box, has that moved? What is the answer? So you know what Guruji said? If you say yes, I will say no. If you say no, I will say yes. The question seems very simple, but the answer, it's not a yes-no answer. Yeah? I saw a movie. The movie was very boring, but it opened with the first slide. This first slide question was worth the movie. The first slide, ship of Theseus. It says, if you have a ship, if you take a ship, and one by one you replace the parts, replace all the parts one by one, replace all the parts of the ship one by one. When you're done with it, Is it the same ship or a new ship? Is it the same ship or a new ship? The question is this or option 1, option 2, choose. But not so easy to choose. That's not part of option 1, option 2. There is no option 3. Yeah? So you see, reality suddenly does not fit in understanding, in the logic through which I have understood the world. How reality is, what you're saying, it does not fit, and therefore, faith. If he has said it, if the Guru has said, must be true, but let me put my effort. Why is he saying it? Why would? When I first heard this idea from Guruji that this whole world is one organism. This whole world is one organism. Oh, what a beautiful thought. This whole world is one organism. Oh, what a beautiful thought. Huh? If somebody doesn't have faith, what are you talking about? Prove. See, if you come from that space, if there is no faith, there is no way you can proceed. There is no. So faith, when you have faith, it's not for the master. You're not giving anything to the master. It's for, you're paving your own road. After a while, on this path, the only road is faith. Not that reason also you use, but faith is what you walk on. So the same professor, he was a student of Werner Heisenberg. Heisenberg was also a scientist, and he got the Nobel Prize for Physics for discovering what we all study and we are tortured by in class 11, the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So, since the class is about confusion, I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you now. So it's like this. He says, if you look at an object, if you see an object, what is the requirement to see this object is there? Light falls on it and it comes to my eyes and I see this object is there. Yeah? If I make this object small, so small that it is the same size as the photon of light falling on it, particle of light, packet of light falling on it, the light falls on it and it moves it away. So by the time it reaches me, what I register, it has already moved. It has already moved. So I don't see where it is now, I see where it was just a fraction of a second ago. Yeah, I cannot fully know where it is now. So there is an uncertainty. At the quantum level, there is always an uncertainty of measuring things. Yeah? So this idea he discovered in maths, what I described he put down equations and he was 24. So the discovery is shocking. That, what does it mean? Your eyes have always been lying to you. They have never shown you reality. When you look at the sun, not advisable, but if you know sun gazing or you look at the early morning sun, when you look at the sun, you're looking at 7.5 minutes in the past. 7.5 minutes in the past. When you look at the moon, you're looking at 1.5 minutes in the past. Or is it 1.5 seconds? Whatever. Some time in the past. When you're looking at anything, it is just a fraction, just a small, tiny, minuscule time in the past. You have never seen the present. Shocking. Yeah? So this is the principle that he discovered, and he was fascinated by it. And he was so excited, and he would go and travel and give lectures. And after the lecture, very excited, imagine the discovery, groundbreaking. He would ask the audience, "Did you get it?" And the audience, they would say, "Yes, we got it." And he would say, "You did not get it." If you say, "Yes, I got it," you did not get it. Because if you really got it, you would say, "What? Oh! Chakit mudra." For those of us joining online, Guruji did a meditation yesterday, Chakit mudra. And then go into meditation. So if you really got it, he said, the only sign that anybody go, "What? Oh!" Yeah? In Ashtavakra Gita, after Ashtavakra says, after Janaka asks the first question, very short question, Ashtavakra tells him a few verses, few shlokas, and Janak does not say, "Okay, I got it." "Oh, Niranjana! Oh!" He jumps from his seat. "Oh! Of course! Oh!" Yeah? It hits you in your being. Only when you get it hits you in your being do you get it. So where Yoga Vasishtha, this knowledge is not to understand. Not to understand, but to become. Now, in order to become, you have to let go of what you were. Yeah? I was this, however I was, this is familiar. This is familiar. I know this is me, this is my personality. But now he's telling me I have never known myself. Whatever I know about myself is not true. I am not how I know myself. And he's telling me that this everything, this whole world is one, and I am that. Interesting? You cannot know it through the senses. This will not fit in your senses. This will not fit in your mind. This fits only when that I-ness, ego sense, I sense vanishes. Only then will you truly know, truly experience. But the problem is, what is the problem? If the I sense vanishes, there's nobody left to experience. There's nobody left to experience. So you will never, even if you get it, you will never be able to say, "I got it." You can never say it. So, these talks and everything, these are nice. These are nice. You learn something. It's entertaining, good time pass. But it's like reading the menu. What is actually having the dish? Everybody's scared now. What is actually having the dish? You saw the menu, this is nice, let's order this. What is actually having the dish? Meditation. Because these talks, I promise you, next week you'll forget. What you understanding is way outside where you are. Wherever you are, understanding is way outside. Wherever you are. So this has to go deeper. What goes there? What goes there? Meditation. This practicing. Guruji said one type of meditation, dissolving. You dissolve. Today's meditation, you listen to the sound of rain and dissolve. So, Maharshi Vasishtha, this is nice to, when you hear for the first time, it's shocking. Wow, this is, amazing. So Maharshi Vasishtha tells Ram, live here. Don't just be a tourist. Come here and live here. Just don't come and enjoy the view. Live here. Live here in this conviction. Live in this space that you are everything. Then, and only then, Guruji said 2 days ago, only then can you say, I belong to you. Only, otherwise, it's something nice I learned, you said, but only then, all this is me, all of you are me, and therefore, I belong to you. So when you came in to the course, this is the first thing you heard. When you came to the course, and not just one person, this, everybody in the course came to you and said, I belong to you. Who is saying? Who is saying? Who is telling you that I belong to you? This whole being is conveying to you in your language this time. In your language, I belong to you. So that's the style. That's the style that Guruji has. You thought he will take us step by, which also he's doing step by step. But look where he begins. The very first thing. Yeah, it's not through explanation. How did you feel when everybody came and told you, and you said to, I belong, expansion. Don't stop there, continue until you really become everything. So live here, Ram, live here. Here Here, no misery. In this space. Where is misery? When, oh, I am this person caught up in this situation and I have so many challenges. No, you're not that. You don't know what you are. That vastness, oh, your mind expands, opens, dissolves. Would you like to say something or ask something? What is the? Yeah. What is the truth? What is the truth? Those who know don't tell. Those who tell don't know. Trained by the best.
If life is an illusion, then why do our fears seem so real?
If life is an illusion, why do fears seem so real? Yeah, so the example they give in your Vasishtha, why do fears seem so real? They seem so real. It's in your question. They seem real. Fears seem. So the example they give is, you're walking, it's dark, and you see something lying on the road. Oh my God, it's a snake. Oh, it's a snake. Fear. But when you find out, it's just a rope. It's just a rope. No fear. So whatever fear, whatever you're afraid of, no, it's not real. Why is it not real? It will pass. What is truth? What is reality? What stays? What is true in the past, present and future? No situation stays forever. It is situations that you're afraid of? No, none of them stay forever. All situations come and go. No, it's not real. They only seem to be real. Yeah?
Aarti from Dubai is asking, how to reduce the effects of karma?
Reduce the effects of karma, we will take up in the next session. Yeah? Yeah. 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 Go ahead. Yeah, very interesting point you bring out, that we don't see the present, we experience the present. Yeah? So here, the experience itself is of the past. I felt good. This was nice. Experiencer. What is in the present? The experiencer is always in the present. What you describe is always of the past. Experiencer. Therefore, those who know don't tell. The moment you tell, it becomes something else. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, so the two things, I am experiencing it. I am experiencing it. Yeah? Yeah. So what you are experiencing is not real. You are the only reality. The experiencer, only the experiencer is in the present. The experience will go in the past. Only the experiencer remains. So, turning from outward, the scenery, to the seer. Going from not interested in the scenery, not just don't, because what I want is not outside. If you're when you see a mirage, you're thirsty. If you're thirsty, you see a mirage, there's water over there. You know it's a mirage. Will you go after that water? Who runs for water in a mirage? I'm thirsty, I want water, but you will never run for water in a mirage. Yeah? What I want is not there. Yes? What I want is not there. Same thing for this whole world. Whatever it is that I want is not out there. This is dispassion. Simple. And this is where Shuka is. Whatever I want, whatever it is I'm seeking is not here. So let this pass. I don't really care. This is dispassion. And from here, you have a chance, an opportunity to behold reality. To behold reality.